Today we have Sonali from DeFi Yield. It's a DeFi and crypto portfolio tracker, but I'm sure I'm, selling it short. It's capable of doing many, many things, especially in a week like this with all the volatility. You surely need a good portfolio tracker. Sonali is head of communications at DeFi Yield, and we also have T. Wells from One High TV to conduct the AMA with us today. So if the two of you want to just introduce yourselves, and then T. Wells, you can just take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to be here, GM, everybody. It's the second installment, I guess, here of the Gnosis Chain show, and we're live here on Twitter Spaces. If you also want to head over to Gnosis Chain, the channel on YouTube, we're also streaming live over there. We'll have some great on-screen visuals. We'll also be posting some highlights of today's show there as well. So make sure to subscribe to Gnosis Chain YouTube. But very happy to have Sonali with us from DeFi Yield today. How you doing, Sonali? GM.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, guys. It's a pleasure to honestly be here and be able to just, be a part of this AMA and yeah, connect with more of the Gnosis community. So we're really, really happy about that.
Fantastic. Well, I'd love to just kick it off here and hear a little bit about you, Sonali. Maybe the brief overview. What is your journey into crypto, and how did you land with DeFi Yield before we get into the project?
Yeah, totally. So yeah, okay. Well, a little bit about me is so I got started in the crypto space around like 2017. And I think that's really when I started to really take a lot more notice of crypto. um, and yeah, so I just started like learning about it. I think honestly, just like anybody else, really just doing my own research. And yeah, I just started learning so much that I started getting really passionate and really fascinated, interested about the whole crypto space and Bitcoin and blockchains. That I started holding these like educational workshops in Vancouver. So I'm from Vancouver, BC, Canada. And yeah, so I'd hold these educational workshops. I do like once a week. They were sort of like meetups. Um, and it was great. I just noticed that I just realized there was a lot of people that were really interested in learning more about crypto, but a lot of people just were struggling to understand the basics, in terms of where to buy it, how it works, who created it, um, you know, and what exchanges can you use, and how do you cash out, for example. So yeah, I would do like these workshops. We'd get like 50 to 60 people that would join these, and it was weekly. Even I was shocked, honestly, by how many people would show up. And it was great. So after that, I ended up also hosting the very first blockchain yacht cruise event here in BC. And it's where like I showcased different, say, companies and industries that were trending in the blockchain space. And so they were speakers, and yeah, I hosted it on a nice boat that we took out, and that was a sold out event. That was great. And then I got into doing some public speaking in like 2018 and 19. And then after that, it was, I guess, crypto winter and COVID until we all emerged again.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
yeah, yeah, totally. And yeah, and you know what? I'm actually, and so how I got connected with DeFi Yield is so I'm friends with one of the co-founders, Michael Rosmer, and so yeah, he like reached out to me. I used to run a marketing agency, like a few years ago, and so he was one of my clients. And so he reached out to me out of the blue, and he's like, "Hey, there's this position open. I think you'd be great for it. What do you say? Like, are you open to connecting with the team?" And I said, "Sure." I said, "Why not?" And so I did. And honestly, yeah, it's been great. I'm so glad that he reached out, and I'm glad that connection was made. It's been a great experience working with the DeFiYield team. It's honestly really incredible to see how passionate a lot of people on the team are about this project, and also just about the DeFi community in terms of really building it. So yeah, it's been really great.
That's awesome. Well, I think that's a great segue to start chatting it up here. What would you say here if somebody is just encountering the DeFiYield project today for the first time? How would you describe it, like in a nutshell?
Yeah, totally. So I would essentially say, for people that are just learning about DeFi Yield and are sort of new, I would say, like, DeFi Yield is essentially it's a DeFi asset management dashboard. So it's a place where people can manage all of their DeFi, portfolios. So everything from pools, vaults, staking, swapping, and also NFTs. And so it's there's a lot of things that make DeFi Yield very unique, and I definitely have to like express this. And it's like one of the things that really make DeFi Yield, the dashboard, unique is the fact that it's the only dashboard right now that supports non-EVM chains. Because a lot of dashboards out there are EVM focused, right? Because it seems like the one that's sort of like the most compatible and easy maybe to integrate. But yeah, we're actually really proud and really excited to support and offer non-EVM chains. So we currently are integrated with Solana, Terra, Cosmos, and Cardano. And so all of the chains that are built on those are we support. And so along with that, we also offer over 100 different yield farming protocols that are built across all of those chains. And that's really exciting. And we're also currently on track. We're on track because of a really unique and special technology that we have and have developed. We're on track to onboard 800 yield farming protocols by the end of this year. So that would be something. Yeah. 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 So yeah, it's great. We're going to be offering a lot of different opportunities in the DeFi space to just the DeFi community. And we have a lot more things coming down the pipeline as well. So we're really excited about.
Yeah, I had a chance obviously to check out the app, and I'm sharing on screen, folks. So if you want to, at some point, I'll remind you. If you want to click over to YouTube on Gnosis Chain, and do a quick walkthrough of the app here, just so you can see. And so now I just mentioned that you're first greeted with a list of different network options, and you can see right up in the front, you have a number of these different integrations beyond EVM. So as she said, Solana, Terra, Cardano, Cosmos with the Kepler wallet. One of the other things I think is really cool is that even if I click into EVM, you have this very large variety of wallets that can connect, including Gnosis Safe, which is really cool for DAO operators in particular.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we're integrating more and more protocols every day. And so, yeah, that's why, like, it's really important to us and very valuable to us to work very closely with the blockchains that we have integrated so that we can start to, you know, get more of their yield farming protocols, integrated into the blockchain so that we can start offering that to all of our users. And what's really great is like sometimes you'll have like users that maybe only are connected to, who knows, like just like maybe just EVM chains, or sorry, just like maybe Avalanche or Polygon, and they may not be always aware of what protocols are offered on other chains. And so what's nice about our dashboard is users will be able to see all of that in one screen. So when they click on like more protocols, they're going to be able to see like the various different protocols that are offered on each chain. So it's kind of like a great way for us to just support each of the chains and for people just to be aware of those opportunities that they may not have been aware, otherwise. So yeah, it's a great way to grow the community that way.
Yeah, 100%. I have I'm logged in now on screen. So I'm particularly interested to hear, I mean, right now it seems super relevant, the security and like audit components of the dashboard. They're unique and they're really easy to use. I just think they're awesome. You want to speak a little bit to those?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's actually another, I would say, key feature about DeFiYield is the security tools that we have available and that we're going to be offering users. Now, some of these tools are coming out. I would say, you know, I would say within like this month and next month. So second quarter. But just to kind of like share more about that is, so I would say we have three really key, like important security tools that we offer users. One of them is the DeFiYield Shield, and that's a tool that's going to be released very soon. And the way that's going to work and for users is when users log in and they connect their wallets, and then all of a sudden now they can see like all the different accounts. So they can see their entire portfolio across various chains and across, various protocols. And they'll be able to see that on one screen. What's going to happen is with the DeFiYield Shield, it's essentially going to be like the very first DeFi antivirus, you know, in the industry. I haven't seen anything like this out there right now. So, but yeah, it's essentially going to be like the first DeFi, I guess you could say, like antivirus. And the way it works is it's a tool that will automatically scan through through all of their portfolio, so through all of their wallets, and the smart contracts that are connected to that. And it'll be able to identify and give people an immediate risk analysis. So it'll let people know whether that particular um, you know, wallet smart contract is low risk, medium risk, or high risk. And but it also gives like a lot more detail. So it's not there's because there I've seen like other tools or something like that out there, but they're nowhere as advanced as what we're going to be releasing and putting out. So it'll also give like detailed information. So because sometimes people don't understand, like the average user, not everybody has like a really techie backgrounds. Sometimes the average user they're just researching things on YouTube and reading articles, but not everybody has a developer's background. So what we want to do is we want to be able to offer what like an advanced user would usually have access to, so like a developer, for example. And usually developers can kind of take a look at the code and smart contracts and understand like what's a vulnerability or an issue, but the average user can't do that. So we want to be able to give that same access to the average user, and that's how we're doing that. So we're letting them know specifically what's a concern or what's a risk in that particular smart contract code. So maybe like the token router isn't hard coded, or maybe there's a proxy issue, or maybe there's unlimited minting. Maybe the smart contract hasn't been verified, for example. So there's a lot of different issues that that our tool can catch. It actually, to be more specific in that, it can catch, I believe, over 600 different vulnerabilities, different risks. So different threats, I guess you could say. And so when a particular risk or threat comes up, it'll identify that, tell the user exactly, specifically what that threat is. And then the user will have the opportunity. Everybody has a different, risk profile for themselves. Some people like to play with risk more than others. But everyone will have the opportunity to revoke that smart contract if they wish to do that. So we're going to also have a revoke feature that's coming out around the same time. And so, if something's getting like code red, high risk, red flagged, a user will be able to revoke that smart contract, which essentially means they'll be able to disconnect their wallet from that smart contract, so that protocol no longer has access to their tokens. And so that's just offering a lot more safety, security tools for like the user, which on a lot of platforms users don't often have that, or know whether there is even a risk, if for that particular account, I guess you could say. So yeah, that's actually one of the top tools that we're going to be offering. Another one is also the Rec database. So we have a Rec that's actually available right now. People can start using that and checking out for themselves. So we have an Audit Rec database. It's actually the largest Rec audit database in the world right now. We have over 5,000 audits on various different like yield farming protocols and just different protocols actually in general. So a person can like type in like the name, the token, the ESN, and be able to pull up various audits on various protocols. So a lot of these are also done manually. Maybe one day in the future we'll find a way. Actually, sorry, that's what our DeFiYield Shield does. So, but yeah, a lot of these are done manually, and so they're in-depth audits. So it'll let a user know whether there's been like, anywhere between 0 to like 2 to 3 or more issues that were found. It'll let them know whether it's been a minimal, medium, or a major issue, and whether it's also been resolved as well. But a lot of these audits often have to get like updated because an audit is only as good as up to the date that it was done, and of course there's always more developments, right, that are occurring on these different protocols with their smart contracts. So yeah, so that's a second security tool feature that we offer. Just the average user, anyone can use it. And I would say the third one is our smart scanner. The smart scanner is, I would say, more of an advanced tool. It will be available on through our DeFi through the dashboard. But the smart scanner, I would say, would be more geared to like, say, developers, blockchains, and the protocols themselves. And the way that works is blockchains, protocols, or developers will be able to essentially like run their smart contract through the scanner. And the scanner will provide them with a much more detailed, in-depth overview of if there's any vulnerabilities. So it'll go through like an analysis, different like social elements. It'll even offer, various suggestions on how to fix or correct some of these risks and issues. So, but yeah, this is actually a great tool, and I would say API for like blockchains and protocols to use because they can integrate a tool like this onto their dashboard and just be able to scan through a lot of these smart contracts. And if there is any vulnerabilities or issues, or that come up, it's a great opportunity for blockchains and protocols to jump on that right away. So that way they can just offer a more transparent, of course, and safer space for the community.
I think safety is the name of the game now. I mean, particularly in light of recent events, tools like y'all have here, I think, are a big deal. Not only the people who are, already in the industry or just general users in crypto, but this makes it's a compelling tool to onboard new people who may have these and like they know enough about smart contract risk that they don't have much interest, but a tool that enables them, to sort of pre-screen projects that they might be interested in. Yeah, this is really cool stuff. I guess like the combination, is it the sort of the audit and other components that you're building? I want to make sure because I'm looking at the UI, I want to make sure I know the right feature, right? So the scanner is different from the shield that you're referring to. Is that correct? Or are those?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. All right. So the shield is not on the UI yet, but the scanner looks like you can sign up for early access if people are interested. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So both of them are going to be like released, I would say, within the month or next, so very soon. So we'll be coming out with like some major announcements for that to keep people in the loop.
It's really cool. The the ability to revoke approvals is super important. And I think the combination that DeFiYield provides as far as analysis of the approvals that you've given is perfect here, and it makes it much more accessible. for people to sort of make those decisions. And FYI, folks, right? Like if you're not aware of approvals and how that can sort of get you wrecked, then I think it's definitely worth doing some research on that. And it looks like DeFiYield makes it easy to make.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? Like with DeFi Yield, they've, in the past, especially with like a lot of these audits, like they've done various audits on different protocols, and in the past they flagged, right, like certain risks and things that are risky, for like the DeFi community with some protocols are that were found in some smart contracts, and like DAO Finance, right, is an example. And so there's a lot of different protocols that say DeFi Yield has, like, say, informed, saying, hey, we noticed there's a particular potential risk here, and this is kind of what's going on. And there's been some protocols, that have, because we make this information public. And so there's some protocols that have seen that and been like, okay, thank you very much for letting us know. And they've actually fixed that. They've actually corrected those issues as a result of the audits that we've done and what we've been able to share with them. So, of course, there's protocols that that we've also flagged and shared that haven't corrected some of those issues. And but I think that just really, because we make a lot of this information public, it really gives light to, I think, the protocols and communities that are really focused on being trustless, permissionless, decentralized, and non-custodial. So so whatever we can do, right, to support that, for the community is great.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, one of the other things I noticed in perusing the app here is the ability to add wallets to, like, watch wallets as well as bundling wallets. I mean, these are just these small features that I really appreciate. And if you're using DeBank or other similar things, the functionality here is just like much more advanced.
Yeah, absolutely. Much, much more advanced. Most definitely. Yeah, so you can access a lot of these protocols, via multiple wallets. You can also bundle wallets across different chains. And you can't really do that on any other platform. So, we're really happy to be able to offer that. Um, it just it helps. It's so nice when you can just sort of consolidate everything, and at least from an ability to just view, what's going on and what you have on one dashboard. So that's always a very valuable feature for a lot of people. Um, and yeah, and so, but yeah, like, some of the features that we have coming out this year is, we have, a feature coming out where users are going to be able to invest directly into some of these pools. We have a swap feature coming out, and as we mentioned earlier, we also have the revoke feature, and so the invest feature, that's also going to be part of a feature that we call explore opportunities. And explore opportunities is essentially going to be an opportunity where users can view a lot of the top liquidity pools in one page, but across different protocols. So, often you have to log into a particular protocol to connect your wallet to see what pools that they're offering. But here, you'll be able to see, the various liquidity pools across different protocols that are trending as the top in terms of, like, top API, APYs, and you'll be able to see, and so you'll be able to invest directly into them through the DeFiYield dashboard, and just like, and also just scroll and check out different ones. And so that's going to be a feature that we're going to be coming out with also this year. And yeah, and so there's some really very exciting stuff coming down the pipeline.
Right on, right on. And is one of those things you all are planning to launch your own chain? Is that correct? Or
Yeah, absolutely. We actually, yeah, we do. So DeFiYield is coming out with its own, I would say, blockchain network. that's coming out at the end of this year, so end of 2022. That's going to be our test net, and then our main net's going to be coming soon after that. We have a token as well, coming out too. And so with the token, users are going to be able to stake that in order to run their own nodes, on the network, and then also get rewarded with the token. We're also coming out with a stable coin token as well, which is going to have a 1-to-1 peg ratio, and that's also coming out.
Coins.
All right. Well, yeah,
joking.
DeFiYield. Yeah. Oh, I know. Tell me about it.
Sorry.
Totally warranted. Yeah, super fresh. But yeah. So that's that's coming also for Androids and iOS.
Got it. Yeah, the mobile experience is quite nice as well. And maybe just to ask a quick question here, obviously on the Gnosis Chain show here, y'all have a relationship with Gnosis Chain, and what attracted y'all to this neck of the woods? Obviously, people can access Gnosis Chain from any of the networks within DeFiYield. But I believe I might be having some microphone problems, so I'm going to mute up for just a moment. You can continue, Sonali, if you have any input on the Gnosis Chain side of things while I troubleshoot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, for Gnosis Chain, I mean, we really value, what Gnosis Chain is doing in terms of the development, and we also see a lot of potential, and we also see a lot of the vision in terms of where it's growing. And so, yeah, we want to be able to offer as many like very valuable blockchains, like Gnosis Chain, on our dashboard. And so, there's Gnosis Chain has its own community. And there's a few protocols on there that are also building, like Hop, and yeah, and there's just and I know they have some other great protocols that they're working with, that we're also currently talking to as well. So we're looking forward to getting them integrated. And I know that they have Hive as well. So I was taking a look at that protocol before, but yeah, and so there's like a whole ecosystem, right, on Gnosis, and I know there's a lot of it that's also just getting started, and so we want to make sure that we can support the ecosystem, at least in terms of a lot of the yield farming protocols that are being built on Gnosis, and for the DeFi space. So yeah, I think it's really great. We're looking forward to getting more protocols that are being built to the Gnosis chain integrated onto our dashboard.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, I can speak for somebody who's been working on Gnosis Chain for a while, building here. There's a lot of serious DAOs building, and so definitely, I think that the tools that you offer are something that, for example, I would share with contributors. People that are interested in they're operating a lot on chain and want easy access to revocal of approvals, and want to nerd out on audits. I mean, it's all, I think there's a good sync on almost the ethos side of things with the Gnosis Chain community.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice because it's then a lot of, Gnosis, chain and protocol users, they'll all have the opportunity to view a lot of their Gnosis protocol, assets all in one place. And then they'll be able to see the assets that they have across other chains also in one place. And like you said, it's a great opportunity for them to nerd out if they want to take a look at audits. And it's also easier when you have tools like these. It just makes doing your own research way easier and way faster. And you're not having to just always pull from 10 different websites. We actually share a lot of the resources also for in terms of recs and audits on our page. So sometimes we'll cite from different resources, and we consolidate a lot of that also, and make that available for users. So, but but yeah, it's a great opportunity for them to track like their pools, their vaults, their staking, and have that all be on one seamless, sort of easy to use dashboard.
Yeah, I've got to ask one question though. Are you all considering like bridge integrations? So that people, I know you said you have a swap coming, or cross-chain bridge is something that you all are considering adding to the UI there?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we're definitely taking a look at that, and I believe that that's something that's currently just in the talks right now. But so bridging is, I believe, like, yeah, that's going to be a feature we're definitely going to look at having integrated. Um, so that way it's nice to be able to have a lot of the key features and tools accessible on one dashboard. Um, I mean, if we're going to be offering, be known for offering a lot of uh, you know, non-EVM chains, which is, really exciting. It'd be also great to have a bridging feature to bridge some of those chains to move some of the tokens across the different chains.
Absolutely. Well, I would be remiss if I didn't ask, on behalf of my own curiosity and everybody in the audience here, can you give us a little alpha on the token IDO, or what does that sound like?
Yeah, so honestly, I think the only alpha I can give on the IDO is that we're aiming for second quarter. However, I would say in all honesty, a lot of it also depends on the status of the market. Um, and I guess everyone's aware of, the current events that have happened in the last few days. But so yeah, ideally, it's we feel it's in our best. It's the best interest of our investors, and we want to make sure that when we launch the IDO, that it's going to be really strategic timing, and it's also going to serve our investors in the best way possible. So we want everybody to have a win with this and have a really good upride. So yeah, so right now, like it's aiming for second quarter, but it's also going to be, I would say, dependent on the status of the current market. So as things start to calm, um, and enter a place of like sort of restoring balance and enter a little bit of an upwind, um, bull market, that's going to be the best time, for us to go full throttle with the launch. We have all the marketing prepared for this. We have a lot of the contracts prepared also in terms of like exchanges and, um, for listings. And so we're ready to go. It's really just all about pulling the trigger. And so what we're doing in the meantime, as we plan and as we scope this out, we're really focused on the product development. And so yeah, so we're just like it just makes sense to invest as much as we can into the utility, into the product development, so that way a lot of that will just offer more value to the token and to the IDO once we launch.
Sure. Very cool. Well, folks, definitely check out DefiYield.app if you haven't been there yet. Connect your wallet. As we were discussing earlier, they got a really remarkable number of EVM chains, plus Solana and Terra and Cosmos. So definitely check it out. And you is the way to, like, if people are interested in participating in the IDO, is this private sale feature, is that the button on the UI, is that the place that people should go to learn more, or is there a better location?
Yeah, I would say, you know what, for anybody that would like to get more information on that, say audio, or just more information in general, like would like to just get more involved into the DeFi space, and I would say, check out our DeFi Yield community Telegram. So we have a community Telegram that's available, and you also go to our website. You'll be able to access a lot of those links from there as well. Follow us on Twitter, and you can check out also like our YouTubes. So with a lot of our protocols, we often do we create tutorials that run users through how to navigate each of these tutorials if they want to get started into yield farming. So that's a really great place to connect and learn more. And yeah, and we also another thing that we also have available for maybe users that are a bit more involved into the DeFi spaces. We also have we create these ultimate guides, and these are dedicated very often to our blockchains that we work with. And these ultimate guides are essentially almost like an ebook. It's like they're very in depth. It's like a Bible when it comes to walking people through like the most valuable golden core features of the blockchains, their ecosystem, and their core space. So we're going to be creating one. Actually, sorry, we actually already have one created for Gnosis chain. And so we're going to be putting that out very soon. So I'd like to invite a lot of the community to keep an eye out for that. And we'll tag Gnosis, and ideally we'll share it with all of our Telegram channels in our community with that one as well. And yeah, and then I'd like to give a heads up also to the community that we'll have an interview with Gnosis Chain coming up on our YouTube channel shortly. So to keep an eye out for announcements around that as well. And please check it out and tune in. I think it'll be a great interview. And
so the resources that you just mentioned about the chains that you're deployed on, where can people find that resource, or those resources rather? Is it within the app?
Yeah. So if you connect your wallet to the app, if you're connected to any protocols, there'll be a little section at the bottom. It's in gray, and it says view more protocols or view 100 plus protocols. If you click on that, it'll show you all the different chains that we have. And
okay.
I wish I could screen share with you.
No, I'm in the app right now, actually, on YouTube. So if they scroll to the bottom of the page, just walk me through this. If anybody's watching, they can check it out. So I'm in the app right now, and I scroll down to the very bottom on the dashboard. Where will I find those resources?
Okay, so your wallet's connected. So probably the first thing you see is account overview, networks, and then, sorry, I just logged into mine, and it is still loading. Yeah, so there should be, sorry, I'm just going to take a look at this with you while I'm with you. Portfolio transactions.
I would say in the meantime, folks, if you're not interested in logging in to see your balance, you can always log into DeFiYield and really do some cool research on their audit database and their rec database. I think this is really neat. I mean, the filters themselves on the rec database are pretty awesome. I mean, you can like target specific attack vectors. I mean, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, this is a really, really cool tool.
Totally. Absolutely. So yeah, actually, I think our developers are doing some work on the back end right now, because so on the dashboard, it will show like under networks, it'll say protocols, and it'll show you like all the different like protocols that we have, and also chains. So I think they're actually just doing some work right now in the back end. So I would say let maybe check back in a little bit later, and you'll be able to view that.
Yeah, I did notice right now on the IL calculator, if people are checking out the UI, you scroll down, they have a link to the YouTube content and the like. So you can sort of check that out, folks, if you're interested in learning more.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then also, if you connect, to the top, there's like to the top right, there's a little arrow that points down. It looks like it's next to a settings kind of icon. It'll also show you the networks that you're connected on. And yeah, and I think we're going to have to, and I think the developers are actually working on the back end right now, because all the chains will show on your dashboard. And so, yeah, give it a bit, and we'll have that updated back to its original kind of settings. Not too long.
Sure thing. Well, I don't know, Sonali, did you want to take some questions from the audience today? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, happy to take any questions. If there's any questions from the audience.
Yeah, if you just want to raise your hand, then I'll make you a speaker. If anyone has any questions, just throw up an emoji or whatever you'd like, and I'll bring you up on stage. I actually have a question for you, Sonali.
Sure.
Let's say I go on to DeFiYield and I bundle a bunch of wallets together, and then I close out my browser and I come back the next day. Does it save all those wallets in one bundle, or will I have to manually re-add all those wallets again?
It saves it, and so once you've added it, it'll save it, and then in the future, you can select from which of those wallets you'd like to bundle. Yeah, like each time, because sometimes you want to bundle it, for a particular day and unbundle it, and but yeah, so it'll actually save a lot of the wallets that you put in there, and then you'll have the option to create different bundles.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's an awesome tool. I mean, for anyone who remembers VFAT tools or even something like revote.cash, those are all amazing open source tools that are available for retail users, but you have to know where to find them. And so it's great that you brought all these resources into one place and put it on an accessible dashboard. And you're going to save people just a lot of pain. So hats off to that.
Yeah, amen.
100%. So yeah, just joined as a speaker. Yeah, Matt here. Yeah, so you can find the Gnosis guide in our homepage. So you just go in our blog.DeFiYield, or you write Gnosis chain ultimate guide, Gnosis chain DeFiYield, and then you can find the guide. I mean, it's yeah. So like, as Sonali mentioned, it's really like a mini book. Just write on Google Gnosis chain DeFiYield guide or Gnosis chain ultimate guide, yield farming guide. So you can find it here, or again from our homepage, our blog. Yeah.
Awesome. I'll make sure
Perfect.
I share that with you guys. So I'll share it in our chat. But yeah, that's really, really, really exciting. But actually, that's a really good point. Kind of like you said on the Revoke website, that it's great to have tools like these, because a lot of people, like, they have to really do some work to find sites like that, and even when they do come across say sites like Revoke, for example, they're not always the best user friendly to understand, like, how to even get started or what to do. Like, there's still a little bit of like technical background that a person needs to have in order to understand how to navigate that. So I think it's like really important, like finding ways to like really simplify these steps for users. I think the less clicks, the better. The more streamlined we can make a lot of these steps, is going to be, I think we'll just support the growth of the DeFi community, because it'll allow them to just focus more on their portfolio, the opportunities, the end result of the research that is already done for them, and information, and be able to make better, more informed decisions in terms of how they navigate the space. Also be able to enjoy it more, because they'll be made aware of, if there's a risk or threat that they can have a heads up about, and have at least have an informed opportunity to whether to stay or leave. And yeah, I think in a lot of ways, it's really just about simplifying, I think, a lot of these steps for our DeFi community.
Yeah, I wanted to add that, I mean, you have mentioned Audit Revoke tool, right? So the Audit Revoke tool just provides you the ability to revoke or update the allowance in some case. In our case, we are categorizing the smart contract risk. So there's a lot of backend identification process. So what does it mean? It means that you have approved some malicious smart contract, and we are going to inform you. The other revoke tool doesn't have this function as well. I mean, our tool is just like an enterprise grade, professional grade tool for revoke. Again, the approval that you see in the website that we have now is the we did it 1 year ago. It was really the first version. The new version that we're going to have this month is going to be 10x more advanced than that. So yeah, it's going to be totally a game changer.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, just real quick, that's one of the most exciting things about this industry or this space that I find is that you have all these open source tools and people can iterate on it, and you take someone else's idea and you can build on top of it and improve it or take it in whatever direction you want. So yeah, I think it's great what you're doing, and I'm all for investor protection, all day long. So more tools that are available to people, the better.
I mean, I feel like right now, the first part of the assessment is just your Twitter notifications, right? I mean, you expect to hear about some issue on Twitter, and then maybe you go to revoke.cash, and you're familiar with that. But folding this all into one UI is brilliant.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we're just, really excited, and, and again, we're really grateful to and happy to be working with Gnosis Chain and finding, as many ways as we can to really consolidate a lot of the top, chains, top protocols, and best tools, that people want want and are going to need, to really make the whole DeFi experience a lot smoother, enjoyable, and just a better ride.
Well, in perfect timing, I think there's no better tool for people to get informed about. And it's been really great to have you on today, Sonali, and to really learn and be able to share a bit more about DeFiYield, folks. DeFiYield.app. Definitely check it out, and connect again soon. When is again the interview that you'll be having with Gnosis folks on DeFiYield? Was there a date that you mentioned?
Yeah, date's not set yet for that. So we're actually currently in the talks right now of getting that coordinated. And so we should have a date soon. I think we'll be talking to them today about that. So, but yeah, definitely we'll share that material with you as soon as it's out, and we look forward to sharing it with the whole community. So I think they're going to be excited about that as well.
Excellent. John, we had one other person that looked like they raised their hand. Okay. I don't want to cut anybody off here. What do you feel?
Oh, yeah, for sure. There you go. Rolls, go for it.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. I don't know if you covered it already. Is DeFiYield planning to delay due to the current market conditions, or are they still planning to go ahead and list in Q2?
So I mean, yeah. So that's the aim, in terms of when we're looking to list. But at the same time, we want to be really mindful about current market conditions, right? Because it wouldn't make a lot of sense to launch when the market is in a downward spiral, because nobody's going to win, in that sort of condition. So, so yeah, we're just gonna we're focused on whatever is gonna support our investors the most and make it a winning kind of experience for everybody. And best times to do that is when it's not a bear market. Or,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, when things aren't like crashing, you know.
yeah. Yeah, makes
So
sense.
yeah,
Makes sense. Yeah,
totally. But thank you for your question.
yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
Thanks,
anyone
Charles.
else want to come up on stage? Feel free. Just raise your hand there.
In the meantime, I'll encourage people to again follow Gnosis Chain, follow DeFi Yield here on Twitter. Make sure you check out YouTube. Both projects have an active YouTube channel, so definitely head over there. Gnosis Chain, YouTube, DeFi Yield on YouTube as well for some great educational content. But that looks like it as far as hands raised, etc. It's been really great to chat with everybody.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks everyone for making the time. Sonali, thanks for coming up and talking to everyone. T. Wells, thanks so much for hosting. It was super informative. Everyone, check out gnosischain.world if you want some more info about the Gnosis Chain ecosystem. And definitely please drop in on our Discord. You can find it on our Twitter page and come say hi and hang out.